Hello everyone, and welcome back to PinChuTV's Philippine Market Wrap. Today, we are taking a slow narrative walk through the market performance for December 5, and also exploring that big question that's been floating around the investors' circles lately. Will the Philippine stock market finally recover in 2026? Alright, take a breath, grab a taho, and let's start through today's market story together. So, let's set the scene for December 5. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index closed at 5,949.22. That's up by 1.05%. The All Shares Index also inched higher, ending at 3,477.68. Total value turnover about 5.8 billion pesos. Even though the index moved higher, the sentiment underneath was a little more mixed. We had 83 gainers, 95 decliners, and 69 unchanged. So it wasn't a full-blown rally, more like a careful step upward. But one company really stole the spotlight today: International Container Terminal Service Inc. (ICT). ICT finished the day at 587 pesos, up a strong 6.63%. A clear standout, heavy trading, strong momentum. Other key names joined the story: Jollibee Foods Corporation at 179.60, Ayala Land Inc. at 20.40, Bank of the Philippine Islands at 116, BDO Unibank Inc. slightly down at 122.80, RC Commercial Lease Inc. at 7.98, and City State Savings Banks Inc., which slipped sharply to 15.34. So yes, ICT was the star of the day, while consumer, property, and banking names held steady. Now, let's zoom out, because to understand the possibility of a recovery of 2026, we need to understand what 2025 really looked like. The economy this year has been supported by two familiar forces. One, the holiday spending season. Two, overseas Filipino workers sending money back home. But despite this seasonal lift, full-year growth is projected to land between 4.8% and 5.3%, a bit shy of the government's target of 5.5 to 6.5%. Why the shortfall? Three big reasons: a temporary slowdown in public infrastructure spending, inflation that stuck around longer than expected, and an uncertain global environment. This made it difficult for the economy to reach full momentum. So, will 2026 be better? Here's where things get interesting. Most analysts describe 2026 as a cautious return to growth. Not a boom year, but a year where things begin to move in the right direction. The expectations: GDP growth picking up around 6.2%, inflation steady at about 3%, government spending revving up again, the peso holding in the high 50 peso range, OFW remittance staying strong. So, from a narrative standpoint, 2026 looks like a start of the recovery arc, a chapter where confidence slowly rebuilds. If this recovery story plays out, these are the sectors likely to take the lead: consumer, food, retail. Lower inflation and better employment support everyday spending. Financials: loan demand may rise again, especially for BDO Unibank Inc., Bank of the Philippine Islands, and Metropolitan Bank and Trust Company. Infrastructure and construction. Public spending stays at 5 to 6% of GDP, pushes major PPP projects forward. REITs, stable dividends stay attractive, especially names like RL Commercial REITs Inc. Renewable energy, solar, wind, geothermal, a policy-supported expansion story. Mining, critical minerals like nickel and copper stays in global demand. Services and IT BPO, AI, and electronics demands remain strong, areas where the Philippines already excels. So, what does today's modest rally actually mean? It feels like the market is beginning to price in optimism for next year, slowly, cautiously, but noticeably. No one is expecting the sudden takeoff. This is more like planting seeds ahead of the dry season ending, a quiet rebuilding of confidence. For investors, that could mean stay patient, watch macro signals, build positions gradually in sectors with strong 2026 themes. Not rushing, but not staying frozen either. And that brings us to the end of today's market story. Here at PinChuTV, we make the Philippine market something you can follow every day, even if it's just to earn enough for your merienda. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow the podcast and share it with someone who might enjoy the narrative approach. Thank you for listening. This is PinChuTV Philippine Market Wrap Podcast. Maraming salamat and take care. I'm Pin.